We are on firm financial footing. Everyone wants to come to North Carolina to do business. And despite the fact of the ills that we see at the federal level with inflation, with the workforce issues, the supply chain issues, small business filings in North Carolina are at an all-time, a record high for the last 2 years. Why? It's not by happenstance. It's not like this article that the ABC News did the other day that said, red states are doing better economically, but it's because they're warmer. It's because conservatives do this little pesky thing that leftists don't like. We put principles inside of our policies and they yield a desired result. And it shows in how our states operate. Yet and still the news media, they never want to talk about that. I can give a 25-minute speech. 24 minutes of it will be about what I just told you. It will be about that. It will be about making reformations in our education system. It can be about giving parents the right to control their children's educational destiny. It can be about raising the stature of people all across our state and taking them on a journey that sees them increase their financial fortunes, their educational fortunes, and their futures. I could mention 30 seconds about why men shouldn't be competing in women's sports and that men ought to go in their own bathroom, not in the women's bathroom. And when the leftist news media reports the next day, guess what the article is about? The article is about that 30 seconds. You see, they don't want to talk about the fact that California is falling apart and Florida is flourishing. They don't want to talk about the fact that New York is in a shambles and that North Carolina is on firm financial footing. They don't want to talk about the great things that are going on in Arkansas and other places where great conservatives are at the helm doing great things. When it comes to that, the news media is silent because they don't want to admit one thing. The left is wrong. They are wrong on every topic, on every issue. They don't have a political leg to stand on. They don't have a social leg to stand on. They don't have a spiritual leg to stand on. They have nothing to stand on because they do nothing right. In every state they're running it straight into the ground. It's a pesky problem for our news media. They despise that. Whenever they mention my name, they always mention my name in conjunction with social issues and how I hate everybody. According to them, I hate everybody. I hate people who walk and talk and walk upright. Or I hate people who drive cars. I don't hate anybody. Because what I'm doing is not about hate. And what you're doing shouldn't be about hate either. We should be operating because of what we love. Let me take it biblical for you. You know that battle between David and Goliath? You know why David won? He didn't win because he hated Goliath. He won because he loved God, and God was with him. So we have to focus on what we love. And what do we love? One word. Freedom. That's what we love. We love freedom. And if you notice, that same news media doesn't want to talk about how bad California is doing, but is always demonizing a guy like Mark Robinson or Ron DeSantis or that fella that needs to be in the White House right now, Donald Trump. They don't ever want to talk about freedom. Oh, they want to talk about freedom when it comes to what they like. The freedom for you to choose your gender. The freedom for your minor child to choose their gender behind your back without your permission. The freedom for a man, a grown man, to compete against women in sports. Oh, they're all for those kinds of freedom. But they're not for real freedom of speech. They're not for the right for you to defend yourself and own firearms. They're not for the right for you to be able to express yourself through your religion. We've got to get back to that, folks. In essence, that's the reason why we're here today. That's why we're here today. We're not here today to see celebrities and see politicians and to see ourselves on television. We're here to spread the message of freedom. We're here to stand up for the freedoms that we love. The other night, I was watching a documentary about World War II. 7-part documentary about World War II. And I turned on an episode of it. And right from the very beginning of the episode, tears start to stream down my face. And I was sitting there watching this thing, asking myself, what's wrong with you? Are you turned into an old man? What is wrong with you? Are you going soft? What's wrong with you? Why are you crying watching this? And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. I wasn't watching a movie. I wasn't watching Saving Private Ryan or Full Metal Jacket, or I wasn't watching some Hollywood war movie. I was watching the stories of the people who have sacrificed their lives, not their fortunes, not their jobs, not their stinking political careers, sacrificed their lives for our freedom. Do you know how many people are laying in their grave right now? Gave up the opportunity to marry, gave up the opportunity to have children and a family, gave up the opportunity like I have to see their grandchildren come on this earth, and they gave it up so we could sit here today. You know how many? The sacrifices that have been made for this country have been great and terrible. Well, now it is the time for us to sacrifice. When I hear a politician, an elected official say, well, you know, I don't want to speak about that issue because it might affect my re-election campaign. I have no use for you. You stand on the shoulders of young men and women who, when it was time to face down the enemy, were willing to give their lives for you. And you stand as a coward who won't do your duty in Congress or the Senate or back at home in your house or your Senate or even on your city council or board of education, or as the mayor refuse to stand up with the guts to fight against the people that want to destroy this nation. Can't have that anymore, folks. We need warriors. We need warriors like President Trump, who is literally spending his golden years fighting for the survival of this nation. Fighting for the survival of this nation. Because we need to get back to standing up for the freedoms we believe in. And what are the freedoms that we believe in? They're the same freedoms that Crispus Attucks gave his life for at the Boston Massacre, that the men on Bunker Hill stood in defiance against the British for. Same ones at Valley Forge, and the same ones who were fortunate enough to stand at Yorktown to see the victory. They're the same freedoms. The Battle of Little Round Top was fought for. The battles of Gettysburg and Fredericksburg and all those terrible battles of our Civil War. They're the same freedoms that the Red Ball Express and the Tuskegee Airmen and those boys from Bedford, Virginia at D-Day fought for, and those Marines at Iwo Jima fought for. They're those same freedoms. So I urge each and every one of you, as we move forward this year and we think about what's at stake, when you think about that wide open border, when you think about this out of control crime, when you think about this dastardly government that has its head in its rear end instead of being at the helm of the government like it should be, you think about those people who sacrificed, who came before you. You get ready to sacrifice. And then let's all get together and do the thing that we need to do. Protect freedom in this nation. God gave it to us. Now it's time to defend it. God bless you all. God bless the great state of North Carolina, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
sources out there that are saying that Iran, their goal is to draw the U.S. into this broader conflict.